You're watching Defense Dynamics. I am Danveer Singh. Today we spotlight India's leap into new age of war, where combat isn't just about courage on the ground, but precision in the skies and protection in cyberspace. In this episode, we'll also focus on one of India's most potent battlefield game changers, the Guided Pinaka Rocket System. We will tell you what is Rudram 3 and why is its integration with Su-30 MKI a major leap in India's air power doctrine. At the end, we will talk about Sukhoi Super Upgrade, but before that, let's check the global defense headlines first. Philippines seeks more Indian weapon systems, boosts military ties with New Delhi. BrahMos deliveries strengthen coastal defense. New deals eyed amid China tensions. India's heaviest rockets get major upgrade. ISRO targets LVM-3 semi-cryogenic launch of 2027 to enhance lift capacity. Russia develops anti-drone rifle simulator, virtual platform that trains forces for drone combat, simulates rifles detection and GPS systems, prepares troops for battlefield deployment. Army Chief General Upendra Dwivedi inaugurated the Indian Army's research cell, Agnishodh, at IIT Madras. The initiative aims to drive indigenous defense technology under Atmanirbhar Bharat. It makes a major Army academia collaboration for cutting-edge military research. Australia has signed a $10 billion Navy frigate deal with Japan's Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. It is the largest defense contract since the AUKUS submarine pact. Drones have played a decisive role in Operation Sindoor and Operation Mahadev, where terror was hunted with digital eyes and neutralized with robotic precision. This is not the future, it is already the present. In Operation Sindoor along the line of control, drones didn't just observe, they delivered. Armed loitering munitions struck terror launch pads in real time. Then came Operation Mahadev in Kashmir's high mountains of Mahadev Ridge near Srinagar, a high-risk counter-terror mission where elite units tracked infiltrators hiding in densely forested terrain. Thermal drones, overhead surveillance, and terrain mapping systems fed real-time intelligence to ground units, enabling a precision kill operation. The first-person view or the FPV drones flew through the forest cover, targeting hideout with surgical precision, saving soldiers, striking swiftly. In Operation Mahadev, the drones helped isolate the terrorists' heat signatures even under the thick foliage. It changed how the soldiers close in their target. The rules of the game have been changed. But drone warfare is only half the story. These machines depend on uninterrupted data flow, encrypted controls, and jamming-resistant communications. With adversaries like China investing in electronic warfare and AI-powered cyber tools, India is now accelerating the creation of digitally armored command chains where drone data isn't just collected but secured, analyzed, and acted upon instantly. Post-Operation Sindoor and Mahadev, India's defense ecosystem has gone into an overdrive. The indigenous TAPAS-BH drone has clocked new flight records. Startups are producing FPV drones and Nagastra loitering munitions. Counter UAV systems like DRDO's D4 are being field tested in forward areas. The aim is not just Atmanirbharta, but full spectrum of drone warfare capability from strike to surveillance to swarm defense.
From the forest of Pahalgam to the LOC ridgelines, India's drone-led missions are not just operational feats, they are a strategic message, that is, India's leap into the new age of war while indigenizing the future war.
Today, India is ready for new kind of war driven by innovation, protected by code and delivered with robotic accuracy. The race is on, not just to build drones, but to build ecosystem of defense data dominance. Because the next war will not give us time to prepare. It will test who is already prepared. Recently, the director of DRDO's Armament Research and Development Establishment, the ARD, revealed that these advanced rockets have achieved a striking circular error probability, that is CEP, of just about 2 to 3 meters, a feat that surpasses even Army's stringent precision requirement that were of 10 meters. So what makes Guided Pinaka such a breakthrough? And why is it redefining India's artillery doctrine? What is the Guided Pinaka? Let's decode. The Guided Pinaka is an advanced variant of the Indigenous Pinaka multi-barrel rocket launcher developed by the DRDO in collaboration with private industry. Originally designed for area saturation, the guided version now transforms the Pinaka into precision strike weapon. It uses an onboard inertial navigation system augmented by GPS or NAVIC, enabling it to correct its flight path mid-air and hit targets with surgical accuracy at ranges up to 75 kilometers.
India's Guided Pinaka is now a hybrid, a cross between a rocket and a missile. Precision artillery made entirely in India. With a circular error probability of just 2 to 3 meters, it's 3 times more accurate than global precision standards.
Let's try and understand what is inertial navigation, but before we do that, let's try and figure out what are the vulnerabilities to a missile when it is in hostile territory. As you can see, this is a Royal Dutch Air Force missile that is flying, and it is getting signals from the satellites, that is GPS coordinates it is getting, and they can be interfered with. So missile will lose its target because of enemy interference. So there are other types of method, and one of the most reliable method is inertial navigation, where the missile is using an accelerometer and a gyro to carry out some dead reckoning. And to support that, it is using some other methods like what we can see here is contour matching and digital matching techniques, in which like in this case a missile is moving over a particular terrain. So it is trying to match the scene with the already stored images it has. Like in this case, the missile is flying over ocean. Now, digital scene matching, terrain contour matching does not work when it is to do with oceans and seas because there is no terrain. So the best answer to that is your inertial navigation, as I said, because it is not relying on satellites, it is not relying on terrain or contour matching or scene matching. It is purely relying on dead reckoning out of accelerometer and your gyro. In a remarkable achievement for India's indigenous artillery modernization efforts, A. Raju, Director of the Armament Research and Development Establishment, the ARDE, has confirmed that the Guided Pinaka Rocket System has demonstrated a circular error probability of just 2 to 3 meters during tests, a performance standard that far exceeds the Indian Army's operational requirement of CEP of 40 meters. To put that in perspective, the Indian Army's operational requirement was around 40 meters of CEP. Surpassing this by a wide margin means that the rockets are now capable of neutralizing enemy bunkers, radar sites, and even mobile artillery with minimal collateral damage. This level of accuracy was previously only available through imported missile systems. Now it is being made in India.
A product of homegrown innovation and battlefield need, Pinaka has emerged as a powerful multi-barrel rocket launcher system, changing how the Indian Army conducts deep strike operations.
Named after Lord Shiva's legendary bow, the Pinaka is an indigenously developed multi-barrel rocket launcher system designed by the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO).
It was conceptualized in the late 1980s as a replacement of aging Russian Grad rocket system. The need was clear. India wanted a longer range, high volume, quick reaction system that was capable of saturating enemy positions in a matter of seconds. The first successful trials of the Pinaka began way back in 1990s, and by 1999 it proved its mettle during the Kargil War, where prototype systems were deployed for real battlefield validation.
Since then, Pinaka has evolved into a family of systems, from Mark 1 to Guided Pinaka with ranges now exceeding 75 kilometers and improved accuracy thanks to navigation and guidance modules. It's mounted on a high mobile 8x8 vehicle capable of firing a salvo of 12 rockets in just 44 seconds, devastating enemy fortifications, supply lines, and troop concentration.
Today, it is not just a symbol of India's defense self-reliance under Make in India, but a frontline asset deployed across critical sectors from Western Front to the line of actual control. So why the Guided Pinaka matters to the Indian Army and why it is a tactical game changer.
With the rising threats across both western and northern frontiers, the need for long-range precision artillery that can hit without troop exposure has become critical. The Guided Pinaka can strike beyond enemy lines, avoid civilian zones, and operate in electronic countermeasure environments, making it ideal for mountain warfare, cross-border counterforce operations, and support for integrated battle groups, now the new Rudra brigades. Combined with drones and satellites for target acquisition, it represents a revolution in artillery fire control.
From area bombardment to pinpoint elimination, the journey of Pinaka rocket system mirrors India's defense transformation. What was once a barrage weapon is now a precision artillery tool capable of doing what missiles do, but faster, cheaper, and indigenously. In other words, when artillery starts to think like a missile, it's the Guided Pinaka. This is not just engineering excellence, it is a strategic empowerment. In a major boost to India's precision strike capabilities, the Rudram 3 missile was successfully tested this week from Su-30 MKI fighter aircraft. The Rudram series, India's homegrown family of air-to-ground missiles, is critical for neutralizing enemy air defenses, radar sites, and strategic assets deep inside hostile territory. But what makes Rudram 3 different, and why is its integration with Su-30 MKI a major leap in India's air power doctrine? Let's get an overview. What is the Rudram 3 missile?
The Rudram is the most powerful missile in Rudram family, developed by the DRDO as part of India's next generation air-launched missile system, NAVIC-guided. Unlike Rudram 1, which targets radars and jammers, Rudram 3 is a long-range, high-speed air-to-surface missile designed to destroy heavily defended strategic enemy positions, including bunkers, runways, air bases, and command posts. With a range of over 300 kilometers and capable of carrying a deep penetration or blast fragmentation warhead, Rudram 3 turns a fighter jet into a precision strike platform. What makes this test truly significant is the launch platform, the Su-30 MKI. It is India's frontline air dominance fighter. The successful firing demonstrates that the Rudram 3 missile are now being fully integrated with Su-30 MKI's fire control radar, navigation system and mission computer, which is a complex task. Given the missile size, guidance logic and speed, this integration gives the Indian Air Force a standoff strike capability, meaning the missile can be launched without entering hostile airspace, giving Indian pilots both reach and safety.
With the successful test of Rudram 3, India joins an elite group of nations with a multi-role air-launched missile capabilities, together with Rudram 1 for anti-radiation warfare and Rudram 2 for medium-range targets. Rudram 3 completes a full-spectrum air-launched strike capability, all made in India.
This missile is designed for use in the first wave of an air campaign to soften enemy defenses, blind their radars, and punch through the hardened targets. It is also ideal for preemptive or punitive strikes, especially in high altitude or contested zones of Ladakh or the Western Front.
The successful Rudram 3 test isn't just about a missile, it's about air power autonomy. As India moves to dominate its skies and shapes the outcome on the ground, homegrown systems like Rudram 3 give the Indian Air Force unmatched confidence to act swiftly, safely and decisively. With Su-30 MKIs armed with Rudram 3, India's air power just got sharper. India's message is clear: we don't just defend our skies, we command them. Sukhoi's super upgrade. It's a transformative modernization. India's air dominance is set for a quantum leap. With the government clearing the much anticipated Sukhoi super upgrade, a transformative modernization plan for the Indian Air Force's frontline fighter, the Su-30 MKI. But what exactly is this upgrade? Why is it being called Super Sukhoi? And how does it future-proof India's aerial superiority? Let's break that down.
The Su-30 MKI, co-developed by Russia and India's HAL, the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, has been the backbone of the Indian Air Force for over 2 decades now. They are agile, twin-seater, long-range and heavily armed. They form nearly 1/3 of the Indian Air Force's combat fleet. Now over 80 of these jets will undergo a deep structural and systems upgrade dubbed as the Super Sukhoi program. This isn't a mere facelift, this is a combat transformation.
So what are the upgrades that are going to take place in existing Su-30 MKI to make it a real Super Sukhoi? So I've got some of these listed here. Firstly, these Super Sukhois will have AESA radar. These AESA radars are digitally scanning radars. You can, as a layman, you should understand that if there is one radar, AESA radar is equivalent to say 100 radars, and it can scan simultaneously a very vast aerospace and give a very early warning to the pilot much before a threat even develops. Second is mission computer and avionics. As the statement says, it is self-explanatory. The avionics will be upgraded and so will be the mission computer, because you will be getting a lot of input from AESA radar and other instruments available on the aircraft. Then there is going to be a massive integration of indigenized weapons, mainly the ASTRA beyond the visual range air-to-air missile and the BrahMos air missile. If you remember, of Sindoor, BrahMos air missile actually created havoc in the Pakistani airspace and the Pakistani territory.
This upgrade means the aircraft can detect threats farther, strike more accurately and survive better in heavily contested airspace. Critically, the shift of Indian-made systems from radar to weapon reduces reliance on foreign components, boosts self-reliance under Atmanirbhar Bharat and ensures better maintenance and turnaround during conflict.
With the ability to carry air-launched BrahMos missiles, the Super Sukhoi transforms into a strategic strike platform, capable of hitting hardened targets at sea and deep inside the enemy territory. From patrolling the Himalayas to deterring adversaries in the Indian Ocean, the Super Sukhoi will be more than a fighter. It will be a force multiplier. With the skies of future getting more contested, India's answer is not just more jets, but smarter, stronger, and indigenized jets. So here is my take. In the noisy debates on new fighter deals and fifth generation jets, a silent revolution is underway. The Sukhoi Super Upgrade. This is not just a technical refit, it is India taking back control of its air dominance narrative. The Su-30 MKI, for years mocked as maintenance heavy, Russian beast is now being reimagined with Indian brains, Indian missiles and Indian radars. This upgrade means more than better radar for longer range weapons. It also means sovereign fighter fleet, less reliant on foreign supply chains and better prepared for 2.5 front threat scenario. In an era of hypersonic threats and stealth warfare, India is betting not just on buying new, but making old platforms smarter and indigenized. So yes, we may not have a fifth generation fighter today, but with Sukhoi, which is super, where we ensure our fourth generation fighters fly into future faster, deadlier and made in India. With this, we come to the end of this episode of Defense Dynamics. Thank you for joining us and do post your comments with #DD with Danveer. See you next week decoding complex defense stories. Till then, goodbye and take care.